Hey, baseball fans! Welcome back to Tits and Streams, your go-to channel for daily baseball predictions. I'm Koken, and I'm here to give you the inside scoop on today's top matchups. Before we dive into today's picks, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on our latest predictions. If you enjoy our content, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends who love baseball and sports betting. Our channel relies entirely on your support. We don't have any sponsors, so every like, share, and comment helps us keep going. If you'd like to support us even more, consider donating by pressing the thanks button under this video. We love hearing from you. Drop a comment below. Your feedback makes our channel better. Alright, let's get into today's predictions. Today we have predictions for 4 MLB games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Miami Marlins and Pittsburgh Pirates. It's the Pittsburgh Pirates squaring off against the Miami Marlins, two teams already planning for the next season, but both eager to build on what lies ahead. Both clubs have been through their share of struggles this year, but there's optimism for the future. The Marlins, despite not being in a full-blown rebuild, are enduring a rough stretch. They've consistently been near the bottom of the league and will likely finish among the bottom 3 or 4 teams overall, possibly securing the worst record in the National League. It's a tough fall for a team that made the playoffs just last year. However, they've got some exciting young players in the pipeline, giving fans reason to hope for better days. Offensively, the Marlins haven't been impressive, ranking 29th in runs scored and on-base percentage, while sitting 25th in slugging. Jake Burger is a key piece of the lineup, hitting .242 with 25 homers and 60 RBIs. Jesus Sanchez is another contributor, posting a .251 average with 17 homers and 59 RBIs. Otto Lopez rounds out the top bats, hitting .256 with 31 RBIs and 16 stolen bases. Despite the underwhelming offense, there's potential in the young core. The Pirates, on the other hand, have shown glimpses of their talent, but have struggled to maintain consistency. A long losing streak has hurt them, though their home performances have been more encouraging than their road games. Key pitchers like Quinn Priester, Johan Oviedo, and Mitch Keller have had some solid outings this season. Today's starter, Zach Thompson, has been decent, putting up a 4.25 ERA with 14 home runs allowed and 79 strikeouts in 112 innings. However, his recent form, with a 7.71 ERA over his last 3 starts, mirrors the team's overall issues. In Tuesday's action, the Marlins came up short again despite scoring 4 runs. Adam Oller struggled on the mound, giving up 6 runs in 5 innings. The Pirates capitalized with a solid offensive effort, scoring 6 runs to secure the win. Andrew McCutchen had a big day, hitting a home run and driving in 3 RBIs, while Brian Reynolds chipped in with 2 hits and an RBI. Neither team has been lighting up the scoreboard recently. The Marlins have been better against right-handed pitching, hitting .262 over their last 10 games, but they've struggled against lefties, managing just .202 in the same span. The Pirates' bats haven't fared much better, hitting .220 against righties and a poor .198 against left-handers. Both bullpens have had their share of problems. The Pirates' bullpen has a 4.68 ERA over the last 10 games, while the Marlins' bullpen isn't much better with a 5.02 ERA during the same stretch. While historically Wednesday games haven't been favorable to the Pirates, with a rough 38-78 record, this game feels like a toss-up. Still, I'm leaning toward the Marlins for this matchup as the slightly better option.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The second prediction for today is for a game between the New York Mets and Toronto Blue Jays. Today's showdown features the Toronto Blue Jays hosting the New York Mets. The Mets have been on a solid run, firmly putting themselves in contention for a National League wildcard spot. While the gap is still tight, just 1 game ahead of the Braves in the loss column, the Mets have climbed to within a game of the Diamondbacks and Padres, who are holding the top 2 wildcard spots. Meanwhile, the Cubs are lurking right behind, but the Mets have managed to create some separation in this heated race. The Mets have posted a 79-66 record this season, though they've dropped 2 of their last 3 games. They kicked off this series with a narrow 3-2 win on Monday night. Before this, they took 2 of 3 from the Reds and completed back-to-back sweeps of both the Red Sox and White Sox. New York is 10-2 in their last 12 games, currently tied for second in the National League East. The Mets pitching staff has been solid, holding a 3.98 ERA, a 1.27 WHIP, and limiting opponents to a 2.32 average. On offense, they've racked up 686 runs, hitting .247 with a .319 on-base percentage. Pete Alonso is putting up some power numbers for New York, batting .239 with 31 home runs and 79 RBIs. On the other side, the Toronto Blue Jays have had a rough season with a 69-77 record, and they've split their last 4 games. They bounced back with a 6-2 win in Game 2 of this series on Tuesday night. Prior to this series, the Blue Jays dropped 2 of 3 to the Braves, lost 2 straight to the Phillies, and fell short in 2 of 3 against the Twins. Toronto has been struggling recently, going 2-6 in their last 8 games and currently sitting last in the American League East. Their pitching staff carries a 4.31 ERA, a 1.27 WHIP, and opponents are hitting .244 against them. The offense has managed 619 runs, batting .242 with a .314 on-base percentage. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has been a bright spot for the Blue Jays, batting .321 with 28 home runs and 94 RBIs.
For this matchup, Sean Manaea gets the ball for the Mets. Manaea has been a rock for New York this season, giving his team a chance to win nearly every time he takes the mound. Although his last start against the Reds wasn't his sharpest, 4 earned runs in 6 2/3 innings, the Mets still found a way to win, continuing a stretch of 5 straight victories in his outings. Overall, New York has won 8 of Manaea's last 9 starts. He comes into this game with a 3.43 ERA, 18 home runs allowed, and 163 strikeouts over 157.1 innings of work. His last 3 starts have been particularly impressive, posting a 3.10 ERA. Bowden Francis will start for Toronto. After a rocky start to the year, Francis has found his groove recently. His most recent start saw him give up 3 runs over 6 innings against the Phillies, but his form has been sharp in general. He holds a 3.72 ERA with 81 strikeouts across 84.2 innings, though home runs have been an issue with 15 allowed this season, including 2 in his last start. However, Francis has been dominant in his last 3 starts with a 1.71 ERA, showing he can hold his own on the mound. Offensively, neither team is lighting it up against these pitchers. The Blue Jays have been struggling mightily against lefties, batting just 192, while the Mets are only hitting 228 against righties. With these 2 pitchers on the mound, expect a low-scoring affair. The bullpens could be key in deciding this one, and the Mets have the advantage here, with a bullpen ERA of 1.76 over the last 10 games, compared to Toronto's 4.25 ERA over the same stretch. While you could argue for Toronto at home with Francis showing promise, I'm leaning toward the Mets. Manaea has been reliable, and the Mets are in the thick of the playoff race, needing every win they can get. The Blue Jays, on the other hand, don't have much at stake. With the Mets bullpen performing better and more to play for, I'm taking New York on the money line. The third prediction for today is for a game between the Colorado Rockies and Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers are gearing up for a crucial showdown against the Colorado Rockies, a game that holds serious weight for Detroit's wildcard aspirations. Meanwhile, the Rockies are stuck in a battle of their own, trying to avoid landing the worst record in the National League, a race that's shaping up between them and the Marlins. Tuesday's game was nothing short of a disaster for the Rockies, as they were shut out offensively and gave up 11 runs on the mound. Bradley Blaylock only lasted 4 innings, allowing 5 hits and 4 runs. This has been a consistent theme for Colorado, with their offense averaging just 4.20 runs per game, while their pitching staff is giving up 5.69 runs, a disastrous combination. Their offensive ranking is 23rd in the league, while the pitching ranks dead last at 30th. With a run differential of 1.49, they sit 29th in the league. Michael Tequila has been a lone bright spot, hitting 23 home runs and driving in 50 RBIs. On the mound, Tanner Gordon will start for the Rockies, carrying a rough 0-5 record and an inflated 7.55 ERA. His last outing wasn't much better, as he gave up 6 runs on 8 hits in just 4 innings against the Nationals. On the flip side, the Tigers are coming off an explosive offensive performance on Tuesday, scoring 11 runs, which secured them the win. Parker Meadows was a standout, hitting a home run and driving in 3 runs. Detroit's offense is putting up 4.2 runs per game, while their pitching staff has been more solid, giving up just 4.07 runs on average. Ranked 21st in offense and an impressive 7th in pitching, the Tigers have a positive run differential of 0.15, good for 16th overall. Casey Mize will take the mound for Detroit, sporting a 2-6 record and a 4.30 ERA. In his last start against the Padres, Mize went 5.1 innings, surrendering 6 hits and 3 runs. The Tigers remain in the playoff conversation, sitting 3 games back from the Twins, but it's a crowded field, with teams like the Red Sox and Mariners all in the mix for the final playoff spots. Detroit needs everything to go right, and Mize is a big part of that equation. However, Mize's season has been anything but smooth. After returning from injury, he hasn't been able to find the consistency that made him the top overall pick in the 2018 draft. In his last 2 starts, he's given up 3 earned runs in each, and while his ERA of 3.24 over his last 3 outings offers some optimism, there's still concern about whether he can handle the pressure as the season winds down. On the other side, Colorado's struggles continue, particularly with their starting pitching. Austin Gomber, who was once expected to be a key piece after being traded for Nolan Arenado, has had his ups and downs. With a 4.69 ERA, Gomber is having his best season in recent years, but that's still not enough to inspire confidence. He struck out 102 batters over 144 innings, and while his ERA over the last 3 starts is a decent 3.60, the Rockies' abysmal 24-74 road record doesn't bode well for them heading into Detroit. Offensively, the Rockies have been hitting a disappointing .229 against right-handed pitching. The Tigers, meanwhile, are hitting .241 overall, but have been awful against left-handed pitching, managing just a .189 average. Despite Detroit having more on the line in this matchup, I can't trust Casey Mize's recent performances enough to back the Tigers here. With Gomber showing signs of improvement and the Rockies' offense capable of breaking out, I'm leaning towards Colorado to pull off the upset. I'm rolling with the Rockies on the money line. The 4th prediction for today is for a game between the Baltimore Orioles and Boston Red Sox. In a pivotal showdown, the Boston Red Sox will host the Baltimore Orioles in what promises to be a game with major playoff implications. The Orioles are barely holding on to the top wildcard spot, just a fraction away from first place in the American League East, where they're locked in a tight race with the New York Yankees. Meanwhile, the Red Sox, sitting 3 games behind in the wildcard race, are in a fierce fight for a postseason berth, especially with the Minnesota Twins showing signs of vulnerability. For this matchup, Nick Pivetta will be taking the mound for Boston, while Baltimore will send Dean Kramer to pitch. Both pitchers have had their share of ups and downs this season, despite playing for winning teams. Kramer in particular has been a bit unpredictable. He showed brilliance in his last start, throwing 6 shutout innings against the Tampa Bay Rays, allowing just 2 hits. However, he was lit up in his prior outing against Colorado, where he surrendered 4 runs in just over 3 innings. With a season ERA of 4.27 and 15 home runs allowed, Kramer has struggled with consistency throughout the year. Pivetta has faced similar challenges. His 4.38 ERA reflects his inconsistency, but his 147 strikeouts in just over 123 innings highlight his ability to be dominant. Unfortunately, the 24 home runs he has allowed this season make him vulnerable to the long ball. His recent starts have been steady, but not spectacular, posting a 4.24 ERA over his last 3 outings. Offensively, neither team has been particularly impressive against right-handed pitchers recently. The Orioles are hitting .238 over their last 10 games, while the Red Sox are managing just .224. However, both bullpens have been underperforming, and that could turn this game into a high-scoring affair. Baltimore's bullpen has posted a 5.12 ERA over the last 10 games, while Boston's relievers have been even worse, with a dreadful 7.31 ERA in that same span. Historically, Pivetta's starts at home have leaned toward the under, with 9 of the Red Sox's last 12 home games hitting the under. On the flip side, Kramer's recent outings have favored the over, going 6-2 in his last 8 starts. Considering all factors, I'm expecting a high-scoring game, with the over being the likely outcome. As for the winner, the Orioles have struggled on the road, dropping 2 of their last 3 road series and going 1-4 in their last 5 games heading into Tuesday night. Meanwhile, the Red Sox have been strong at home, going 5-2 in their last 7 games at Fenway Park. Additionally, Kramer has not fared well against the Red Sox in his career, posting a 6.45 ERA and a 2-4 record in 38 innings against Boston. In contrast, Pivetta has been effective against the Orioles, with an impressive 3.33 ERA and an 8-3 record in his career matchups. With all this in mind, I'm backing the Red Sox on the money line in this one.